Hello and welcome to Rotted Review of the Day, and today it is December 17th as we continue counting down on our advent calendar of Christmas horror movies leading up to the 25th, which is coming up pretty soon here. And today I'm taking a look at the follow-up to Krampus the Reckoning, which is 2016's Krampus Unleashed, also written and directed by Robert Conway. Now, one of the marks of an individual's character is their ability to admit when they are wrong, and to a degree I am doing that with this review here. Now, I said in my review of Krampus the Reckoning that it was a bad movie, but it was not god-awful terrible, which was surprising because I was expecting it to be god-awful terrible, and it proved to be just a bit better than that. It actually had some effort behind it. And I also said that it had some rough edges, and it basically looked like the fledgling talents that needed to be honed and sharpened and with practice and so forth by writer and director Robert Conway. And I was excited to see what he would come up with next. In this regard, apparently, I was wrong, because this movie was god-awful terrible. This took all of the elements that I thought was good about Krampus the Reckoning, which were few and far between, but they were there, and they are just completely out the window. So in this movie, we basically have a family getting together for the Christmas holidays out in the middle of nowhere in the desert of Arizona, and one of them happens across a stone that was previously, decades ago, buried treasure by someone, it doesn't matter, and eventually, apparently this stone calls Krampus to it and kills its holder and whatever. It basically took all of the established Krampus mythos from the first film, including character design, pretty much everything about what it had already established, and then just completely shits on it until it suffocates into its own pile of fecal rancidity. It's just, really, that's pretty much the entire plot, is they have this rock, and this rock is what calls Krampus as it basically kills everybody. And really, there's really no other way to put it. There are no good characters, there's no tension, there's no stakes, there's no conflict. It's just a bunch of really, really unlikable fuckwits going around getting killed and yelling at each other. And that's it. That is the entirety of the movie. Whatever shred of plot they try to inject into there with various relationships between the characters, it's so poorly written and poorly thought out, and the dialogue is so hammy that it just doesn't matter. It's just that bad. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but I was really expecting something better. This was deflating for me. This is very much, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. I really was hoping for something more from Robert Conway as his follow-up to Krampus the Reckoning. I review horror movies. That's what I do. I'm on YouTube, I have this channel, I'm almost to 300 videos, and by and large, I kind of look at the outskirts of the horror world. I rarely, or at the very least, not nearly as often as other folks, review the mainstream movies that are going to hit major theaters. I review the kind of bottom of the barrel, lesser known titles. So I'm used to watching crap. It kind of comes part and parcel for what I do here. And one thing I try to do is always kind of try to find that level of subtle redemptive quality to these lesser known titles, even if they are by and large straight to video turds. Being a horror movie reviewer, I try to look at things through a slightly different lens than just your average movie critic, and I have a place in my heart for movies that have effort behind them and cheesy kills and over the top gore and sharp dialogue that would never fly in real life, but have some fun placement in these schlocky movies. And even through that lens, I can't really find anything redemptive about this movie. I'm going to go ahead and throw up all the scores here. As always, 4 different categories, each one worth up to 25 points for a total possible score of 100 points. And I think that all told, each and every one of these categories kind of speaks for itself. The acting was terrible. The plot was terrible. It was almost non-existent. Everything about it really just didn't come together and ultimately made for a terrible watch. So whatever it was intending to be, funny, cheesy, scary in the slightest. Whatever it was trying to be, it really did not succeed in any measurable way, other than, it had one or two little moments of, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was on par with movies like, Krampus, the Christmas Devil, which got 0 and 10 points, or even The Dread Rattlin', which is still my top movie, worst of all time. So, I mean, it deserves some points, Krampus Unleashed, but not a whole lot. So a total of 16 points out of 100, which went down from 48 points in the previous film. I said in that review that I was looking forward to the next two, and I can say honestly that with one left, I'm really not looking forward to watching it, but maybe. Fingers crossed, hopefully this will turn around, the ship will right, and we will find some redemptive qualities within the third movie, which I believe is called Krampus Origins. So look for that review tomorrow. I look forward to watching that tonight to a certain degree, I guess. I'm just really hoping it's better than this one, because this one just sucked balls. So that's my review of 2016's Krampus Unleashed. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. If you want to support me further, my Patreon and my merchandise storefront links are below. Remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.